The Collectors. Chapter 2. The once girl was talkative, but that wasn't unusual for the newly departed. The creature complained and nagged that Remy was going the wrong way and that he was getting them lost, but that also was not out of the ordinary in this unordinary situation. What it did try to do constantly was hold Remy's hand every time they came to a street that needed to be crossed.
I can't go if you don't hold my hand. It's dangerous.
You're already dead, he wanted to say, but he knew better than to say that at this point. He may be a slow learner, but after the first 3 times, he never attempted that again. He also did not hold the waif's hand. He just strode across streets and through alleyways, knowing that despite all of its demands, the thing would be helpless but to follow. Even across dangerous roadways.
Wait!
The thing screeched as it scuttled across the last street after him.
Stop!
Remy stopped, not because he was heeding the command, but rather because they were at their destination. In the warmer months, the area was just a shallow, stagnant puddle of water surrounded by brittle brown reeds. But in rainy seasons, like this one, it became something between a small pond and a large pool. It was a place Remy used most during this time of the year.
What are we doing here?
Demanded the imitation child.
You're supposed to take me home.
This is the way, Remy said, his voice flat and toneless.
No, it's not.
The thing said with a stomp of its foot.
I don't even know where we are now.
It's just over that bridge, Remy said, pointing toward the body of water.
What bridge?
The thing finally stopped whining as his eyes locked on the bridge that stretched from the shore just a few meters from where they stood and disappeared into the length of the pool. The false child stood there, gaping at the bridge that had not been there before. There was a time when Remy had also held that kind of wonder, always staring across bodies of water looking for the moment that the bridge would fade into view. But it never happened that way. It always appeared between the blinks of the eye, 1 second empty space, and less than a second later stood a passageway from one end of life to somewhere else. He wished he could still find it awe-inspiring, or even fear-inspiring, like he used to. But now all he could feel in moments like these were tired. Time to go, Remy told the waif, wavering at his side. They're waiting for you over there.
Who is?
Remy shrugged. He didn't know. It was just something he said. He found it didn't matter what he said, but the act of saying anything usually had the desired effect. The once girl took a step forward, then another one, and another, drawing even to where Remy stood and then passing him. As the thing neared the foot of the bridge, Remy turned to leave. He did not need to see the thing disappear into the vast nowhere space. He had nearly reached the street to begin his own journey home when he heard the once child speak.
Who are you?
The little voice said, but it wasn't the sound of its familiar voice that halted him.
A friend, little one.
Came the much deeper voice of a man, the voice echoing in his mind just as the waif's did, but there was something different in it. It made his ears feel hot, and his head gave a single, cold, pulsing throb, like the beginning of a headache that preempted brain freeze. He felt his body turn of its own accord, and his eyes latched onto the unfamiliar scene before him. The dead child stood at the foot of the bridge, just as it should. Before the waif stood a person that had not been there before. Or rather, not a person, but a creature in a person's suit. The creature looked almost like a man, tall and lithe, long-limbed but not very muscular. Dark hair that fell loosely around his face, framing pale cheeks and light-colored eyes. But as Remy stared unblinkingly at it, that changed. The long limbs were too long, hands dragging down past the thing's waist, fingertips hanging in line with its knees. Its hair was not just dark, but an inky black that seemed to absorb the light but refused to shine any of it back. And its skin was not pale, but rather gray. Its eyes were not light, they were white, just like the dead girl's.
You're the one that's waiting for me?
The waif asked, its voice uncertain but not altogether scared.
Yes, I am.
The unknown thing said to the fraudulent child. It smiled in a way that could be called gentle, but the way its lips slid into the expression made Remy think of ink dropping into water. Slow, smooth, and ethereal in a way that was not natural. Orange-shaded teeth peeked out of the smile, and its white eyes crinkled at the corners. The creature beckoned the once girl toward it with a soft wave of its wide hand.
Come here, child.
The dead girl seemed to hesitate for a moment, and then it raised its foot to take the final step onto the bridge. No! The command tore from Remy's throat before the thought to give it had even fully formed. Come here.